We now have 2 new teasers for the next episode of Primal Season 3, which picks up directly from the events shown at the end of the previous episode. At last, the long-awaited encounter between Spear and Mirah is revealed. Something fans have been anticipating for years, though not in the way many imagined. Rather than a reunion driven by nostalgia or affection, what we're shown is a scene steeped in mystery, wrapped in an unsettling atmosphere with a clear undead undertone that completely redefines this meeting. This preview unfolds immediately after the final moments of the last episode, revealing that the figure emerging from the brush is none other than Spear. His arrival is marked by the spear he carries and the clothing he acquired in the episode Feast of Flesh, visual cues that strongly reinforce the series' narrative and visual continuity. The scene is further punctuated by a brief but striking moment in which Mirah's companions attempt to neutralize this undead being through rituals, creating a situation that feels oddly humorous due to the contrast between their actions and the gravity of the moment. Their desperation is evident in both their frantic movements and the background music, which heightens the tension of the scene. Mirah, however, stands in stark contrast to them. She shows no fear or distress at Spear's appearance. Instead, her reaction conveys a sense of calm and quiet satisfaction, making it clear that she recognizes the one standing before her. This reunion takes on a unique meaning by presenting Spear not only as someone who has returned from death, but as the companion and lover who sacrificed everything to save her. The teaser closes on a moment that raises far more questions than answers about the direction the story is about to take. His gaze, what could be described as a completely vacant stare, reveals that even though he has reached his destination, he remains entirely unmoved. There is no immediate reaction, a trait that has already been established in previous episodes. Even when faced with a predator, a dangerous situation, or any obstacle in his path, there is no instant response. Instead, he appears to require a series of stimuli that awaken memories or instincts from when he was still alive, only then acting in a way that is more instinctual than rational. This behavioral pattern suggests that his reactions are not driven solely by immediate danger, but by the connection he forms with fragments of his past. Through these triggers, his body responds, not through full awareness, but through deeply ingrained reflexes that remain dormant. When action finally comes, it seems to emerge from muscle memory rather than conscious choice. Even in this condition, a part of the caveman we once knew appears to persist within him. A minimal yet constant presence that continues to surface through specific gestures, reactions, and actions. It serves as a reminder that, despite his current state, something of what once moved us is still there. Continuing with the preview, we see Mirah attempting to approach Spear, likely intending to embrace him, touch him, or simply see what kind of reaction he might have to her presence. At that exact moment, Fang stops her with a clear, direct look, one that can be read as a warning to proceed carefully and avoid a reckless move. This intervention isn't solely due to Spear being undead, but also because of Mirah's condition, as she is pregnant. Since the previous episode, when Fang becomes aware of Mirah's pregnancy, her behavior toward her changes noticeably. From that point on, she becomes more attentive and protective, effectively returning the favor Mirah once gave her when she cared for Fang's eggs. This shared history strengthens the logic behind Fang's actions, as she is driven by both instinct and memory, two forces that have consistently defined their relationship throughout the series. This element opens the door to multiple interpretations, especially since earlier trailers and previews have made it clear that Fang is not entirely convinced that the entity standing before her is truly her former companion. Her mistrust seems to stem both from Spear's physical deterioration and from the presence of the green magic surrounding him, a force Fang has encountered firsthand in previous seasons, and that has always been portrayed as corruptive and dangerous. That magic was more explicitly introduced in episodes such as Coven of the Damned, where it was shown to not only resurrect the dead, but also transform the living into entities or sacrifices meant to fuel its power. Sensing that same influence within Spear, Fang cannot ignore the threat he represents, regardless of who he once was. This concern is reinforced in the second teaser, where daylight has already broken and Fang still does not fully trust Spear. It's clear that no immediate bond exists between them. Neither seems able to fully recognize the other. It is Mirah who ultimately steps in, attempting to calm the situation and ease the tension between them. Somewhere deep within the dinosaur, she knows he is her companion. Still, having watched him die and be buried, it's hard to process seeing him again, now with a completely different appearance, both physically and in the way he behaves. And this is where what I mentioned earlier is reinforced. When a small boar appears, Spear's hunting instinct immediately kicks in. Once again, he taps into a memory from his past life, when hunting was essential for survival. Fang instantly charges after the prey, while Spear hesitates at first, unsure of how to react, until the memory of what he must do finally awakens. Both of them set out to hunt the small boar. They are exceptional hunters. Fang is the first to give chase and the one closest to bringing it down. But Spear gets ahead thanks to his spear, and is the one who ultimately kills it. Given this situation, it's logical to assume that Fang would attempt to act immediately to eliminate what she perceives as a threat, driven by her protective instincts. However, everything suggests that Mirah will step in before things escalate, not just once but as many times as necessary, trying to prevent a direct confrontation and establishing a point of tension that could define the course of what comes next. This preview, though brief like the ones before it, clearly conveys what lies ahead in the upcoming episodes. All signs point to an attempt to either find a solution to Spear's condition, or, failing that, integrate him into the group as they continue the search for the child kidnapped by those beasts. A mission that, as we know, the remaining humans would almost certainly fail to complete on their own. But with Spear among them, the balance is very likely to tip in their favor, once he confronts and kills the mother and queen of those creatures. During the journey, or on the way to the cave, Spear may begin to regain a bit more awareness now that he is once again surrounded by Mirah and Fang. Being close to both of them could trigger fragments of his past to resurface as he interacts with them. This idea is further supported by several scenes shown in the trailers, which seem to point to a gradual progression in his condition. In this context, it is also confirmed that the Viking demon will not appear this season, as it is revealed that his previous appearance was nothing more than one of Mirah's nightmares. As a result, the narrative focus remains on the green beast, which we see Spear attack with brutal force, crushing its skull with his jaws, as well as on the creatures responsible for kidnapping people. This leaves open the question of whether these beasts will serve as the season's primary villains or merely act as intermediate antagonists before the true central enemy of this new chapter is finally revealed. In conclusion, this reunion stands as one of the most highly anticipated moments in Adult Swim's productions, not only because of its narrative weight, but also because of what it represents for the characters and for the story that has been built over the seasons. Everything points to Genndy Tartakovsky delivering one of the strongest and most memorable chapters of Primal, solidifying this third season as a defining turning point in the series.